In 2024, the latest full movie Love in the Big City, starring Kim Go-eun and No Sang-hyun, finally arrives. To others, she is truly seen as an odd and unpredictable girl.
딱 봐. 점 없고 꽉 찬 A.
When faced with rumors and harsh gossip, he is the type who will go too far just to fight back.
피자 먹으러 가자.
And this man is the only male friend she fully trusts. The woman is named Jae-hee, and during her high school years in France, her biggest joys in life were drinking and dancing. After returning home, she stopped focusing on anything serious and instead spent her days and nights drifting through clubs across Korea. These two like-minded young people could drink from noon until dawn, and from the way things look, it is easy to assume that the man's preferences might not follow the usual expectations. The next morning when they woke up,
술을 끊든 가야지 진짜.
마시면 진짜 인간도 아니야.
but the moment they saw a delicious meal on the table, they locked eyes all over again.
인간 아님.
They were not only partners in food and drinks but also trusted friends who shared everything. At that time, Jae-hee was dating the captain of the school basketball team, and in everyone else's eyes, she changed boyfriends faster than outfits. But Hyung-soo always knew that Jae-hee was a sincere and tender-hearted girl. When facing gossip from others, Jae-hee acted completely unfazed.
야, 그렇다고 토할 정도는.
아니, 점심 먹고 난 뒤부터 속이 좀.
At some point, Jae-hee's underwear began disappearing without a trace. At first, she did not think much of it, until she saw what happened on the balcony.
찾았어?
Even though the person stealing the underwear was caught in the act, without real evidence, they could only let him go without consequence. To prevent trouble from spreading, the two quickly agreed that Hyung-soo would move into Jae-hee's place starting that day. And this began a very unconventional version of living together. Living expenses and daily costs were shared by both of them, while razors and sunscreens suddenly had more universal uses. Time slipped by, and 3 years passed just like that. And even though Jae-hee had a boyfriend, he only wanted to keep their relationship hidden.
뭘도 못하냐? 남친을 남친이라 부르지 못하게?
비밀 연애 섹시하잖아.
야, 남자가 자기 이름과 시간을 내주지 않는 것만큼 구린 게 없어. 특히 연애에서. 안 불안하냐?
흥수야, 난 눈치 보고 계산하고 머리 굴리지 않아. 그 시간에 연애를 하지.
Soon after, Jae-hee discovered that her boyfriend would not answer her calls and was repeatedly liking posts on someone else's social media. But after a round of questioning, she was once again persuaded by her boyfriend's smooth talking.
누나인지 몰랐어요. 안 닮았잖아.
야! 너가 지금 날 못 믿고 있잖아. 난 그게 제일 속상한 거라고. 정말 몰라? 너가 훨씬 예쁘잖아.
Under his constant sweet words, Jae-hee's mood became bright and light again.
뭐하냐?
사랑에 빠진 것 같아. 솔직히 얼마만큼 좋아해야 사랑하는 건지 모르겠거든. 근데 보고 싶어.
By then, Jae-hee had unknowingly fallen deep into this relationship, but surprises always come without warning. On the day of the annual school festival, Jae-hee rushed over hoping to help her boyfriend, but when she arrived at the food stall where he worked, she saw worry written all over his face. It turned out his older sister happened to be there too.
선우 오빠 누나시죠? 안녕하세요. 처음 봬요.
But the boyfriend's lies fell apart almost immediately.
누나라며. 신누나라며.
아, 야! 내가 언제 그딴 소리 했어.
미안한데 쪽팔려서 먼저 갈게요. 차에 있을 게 정리하고 와.
진아, 그게 아니라 내가 얘한테 그냥 좀 잘해준 거 가지고 얘 오해하는 거야. 어?
Jae-hee never expected that the man she liked was seeing two people at the same time, and he even belittled her in front of everyone.
너 강의실에서 가슴 깠잖아. 남자애들 다 보는 앞에서. 클럽 죽순이에 매번 남자들 갈아치우는 걸로 학교에서 널 모르는 사람이 없는데 어떤 미친 새끼가 너 같은 걸레랑 진지하게 만나겠냐.
the cheerful school festival instantly turned into a tense and humiliating scene. With things falling apart, Jae-hee had no choice but to call the only person she trusted.
이태원? 갑자기? 남친이랑 싸웠냐?
잔말 말고 이태원으로 튀어와.
At that moment, Hyung-soo had just arrived at a party hosted by a friend, but conflicts suddenly broke out, and people with opposing views quickly clashed. Hyung-soo did not want to get involved, but when he saw his friend being violently attacked, his adrenaline surged. Outnumbered, Hyung-soo was quickly pushed down and overwhelmed. Meanwhile, Jae-hee was already heavily drunk, and when she still did not see Hyun-soo appear, a handsome guy nearby began showing interest in her. After several rounds of drinks, with her mind clouded and emotions running wild, she chose to spend the night with him. When she woke up the next day, Jae-hee realized she had made a terrible mistake and rushed out of the hotel without stopping. But the moment she stepped into her home and saw food trash scattered across the floor, she could no longer hold back the anger burning inside her.
자고 있었으면서 음식물 쓰레기 왜 안 버렸어?
나도 내일 버릴게.
냄새!
화장실에 머리카락 좀 치워. 진짜 쥐새끼인 줄 알고 시겁했네 진짜. 그리고 너 내 면도기로 다리 털 좀 밀지 말랬지. 내 사이사이 다 꼈어 진짜 더럽게.
니는 너도 내 비비크림 몰래 쓰잖아. 내가 돈 못 사서 사는 불가리스 왜 네가 처먹는데? 이 쪼잔한 새끼야.
쪼잔한? 은비쟁이가 씨야.
왜?
All the emotions that had piled up between them erupted at that moment. Facing the woman's emotional outburst, Hyung-soo seemed completely indifferent, because he had no idea how much Jae-hee had gone through. Once he came to his senses, Hyung-soo immediately stepped forward to ask what happened.
뭐야? 너 무슨 일 있었어?
새끼가 이랬어? 어떤 새끼야?
Soon after, the misunderstanding was resolved, and the two sat quietly sharing the painful parts of their past. Hyung-soo realized his identity in his first year of high school, and his mother happened to witness it. And although she said nothing afterward, that moment became the deepest wound in his heart.
엄마가 새벽에 내 방 들어와서 기도할 때마다 진짜 미치겠는데 그냥 있었어.
죽고 싶었어?
아니? 살기 싫었어.
중학교 때 미술 숙제로 우유값을 그려오라고 한 적이 있거든. 30명 중에 딱 한 명만 찌그러진 우유값을 그려온 거야. 그 그림을 교실 뒤에 붙여놓고 볼 때마다 칭찬하고 그랬거든.
그걸 그린 애는 화가가 됐겠지?
아니, 망따가 됐어. 걔 사물함엔 늘 썩은 우유가 가득했거든. 결국 자퇴까지 하더라. 원래 그래. 사람들은 자기랑 다르면 그걸 열등하다고 생각해야 마음이 편하거든. 그거야말로 열등감인 줄은 모르고.
At this point, even though Jae-hee did not say who the girl who dropped out was, both Hyung-soo and the audience knew that the girl was actually Jae-hee herself. Not long after, while Hyung-soo was helping his mother make dumplings, he suddenly received a call from Jae-hee, and to his shock, the incident from that night of drinking had led to Jae-hee becoming pregnant. When the doctor criticized her loudly, all the negative emotions Jae-hee had buried for so long finally burst out. Later, Hyung-soo found Jae-hee in a narrow alley, and although he tried to comfort her, he never expected Jae-hee to cry in front of him for the first time.
내가 그렇게 뻔해?
야 부재희,
최선우가 나 같은 여자를 어떻게 진지하게 만나냐 그랬어. 저 의사도 이게 내 삶의 결과래. 정말 그래? 그래서 해픈 년이라고, 걸레 같은 년이라고 다 들리게 막 욕해도 괜찮은 거야? 왜 지들 맘대로 생각하고 맘대로 욕하고 다들 어떻게 그렇게 쉬워? 다들 왜 그렇게 쉽게 단정하는데 정작 나는 날 어떻게들 그래?
Understanding what Jae-hee had gone through, Hyung-soo felt her pain as if it were his own, and he knew that at that moment, no amount of words could compare to a silent embrace. Perhaps time is the best medicine for healing, and with Hyung-soo by her side, Jae-hee was finally able to calm down and complete the procedure. Even though rumors about their living together had already spread through the school, the two continued to rely on each other for warmth and support. By graduation, Jae-hee not only earned her bachelor's degree in law but also secured a satisfying job afterward, while Hyung-soo completed 2 years of military service and returned to society. Time flew by, and 6 more years passed, and although the two remained deeply close, Jae-hee had found a stable job and now had a confident and capable lawyer boyfriend. Meanwhile, Hyung-soo made no progress in the literary field he loved, and even worse, he remained trapped in a complicated and painful view of love that left him anxious and unsure, until one day, their long-kept secret of living together was finally discovered by their families.
엄마가 왜 왔어 여긴?
겨울옷 보내라며.
엄마 얘는 어떻게 된 거냐면
알아. 베프. 흥수 얘가 학교 얘기 통 안 해서 이렇게 친한 친구가 있는 줄 몰랐네. 먼저 좋은 회사 들어갔으니까 우리 흥수 좀 잘 도와줘.
걱정 마세요, 어머니. 점쟁이가 그러는데요. 제가 영부인 사주라서 제 곁에 있는 남자는 무조건 크게 된댔어요.
어머, 그래?
네, 어머니.
Seeing his mother laugh with such genuine joy, Hyung-soo's heart softened instantly, and he chose not to reveal the truth. As they left, his mother finally spoke the words she had kept in her heart for many years.
나는 네 병 나을 줄 알았어.
On a freezing night, with the heating breaking down again, Hyung-soo had no choice but to go to Jae-hee's room to stay for the night.
T'as bien dormi? Si bel homme.
제이야, 똥 먹었어?
It seemed like another normal and energetic day, but no one expected that this moment of closeness would bring them unexpected trouble.
나 이거 똥 못 싸서.
오빠.
야, 괜찮아?
내 여자한테 손
The moment those words were spoken, the room fell completely silent. Right after that, Jae-hee quickly pulled her boyfriend away, leaving Hyung-soo standing alone in the room, completely stunned. A moment later, her boyfriend began criticizing Jae-hee for hiding things from him, and although Jae-hee tried her best to explain, he refused to believe a single word she said. At this point, she finally understood that this unreasonable lawyer in front of her was not someone she could entrust her life to.
헤어지자.
When they returned home, Jae-hee apologized to him again and again with complete sincerity, but words once spoken cannot be taken back, and the secret that meant everything to Hyung-soo had still been revealed by her. No matter what her intention was, what she said completely crossed Hyung-soo's boundary, and from that moment on, their relationship officially went separate ways. Yet because of this incident, it seemed to give Hyung-soo the courage to finally face the truth.
엄마.
Hearing everything, his mother quietly walked out of the room, while on the other side, Jae-hee was about to experience something she had never faced before. When she stepped into her home, she suddenly saw the figure of her ex-boyfriend standing there. He was already heavily intoxicated, and he firmly believed that something inappropriate was happening between Jae-hee and Hyun-soo. Without listening to anything, he suddenly lashed out at her in anger. Seizing the moment when he became distracted searching for his phone, Jae-hee ran out of the house without looking back and immediately called Hyun-soo.
너 어디야? 왜 그래? 제이야, 파출소로 가. 내가 지금 바로 갈 테니까. 어? 제이야, 정신 차려. 울지 말고. 내가 지금 바로 갈게. 응? 바로 갈게.
In the next second, with Hyun-soo's encouragement, she finally calmed her frantic emotions and reached a safe place where she could stay protected. At the same time, Hyun-soo rushed straight to the bar where Jae-hee's ex-boyfriend worked, and seeing him arrive, The man could only hide inside, trembling with fear. Moments later, all three of them gathered at the same place, and the ex-boyfriend began twisting the story, falsely accusing Jae-hee of being unfaithful. But Jae-hee would rather carry the reputation of being the bad one herself than let Hyun-soo continue enduring endless rumors.
너 계획이 맞아. 굳이 네가 왜 쌍년이야? 나 계획 막. 세상에서 얘가 날 제일 잘 알고 내가 얘를 알아요. 내가 아는데 제이 절대 그런 애 아니에요. 저희는 그냥 우리 엄마도 아는 찐 베프라고요. 베프끼리 같이 살 수 있잖아요. 서울에 씨발 박세가 얼만데. 우린 하나도 안 이상해요. 우리가 이상해?
아니, 전혀.
브라보다 브라보.
안 이상해.
A few more years passed, and both of them turned 33. On this day, Jae-hee's wedding ceremony with her current partner was taking place, and to honor this beautiful moment, Hyung-soo sent his most heartfelt blessing. From the day they met to 13 years of companionship, these two close friends walked through the most important stages of their lives together and shared their most wonderful, most uncertain, and most unforgettable years. Perhaps this is what true and genuine friendship looks like. The movie ends here, and thank you to all the viewers for watching.